Hey everybody, Brooklyn Attic Books here. I'm here to talk about my March wrap up. These books were awesome, except for one. One book in particular, I was not a huge fan of this month, but let me get into it. For years, people have been recommending Hyperion by Dan Simmons to me. So, as part of this year's reading plan, I want to mix up my reading every month. So I have incorporated more classic science fiction. And I don't know if this is classic technically, it is from the late 80s. So I don't know. But let me tell you guys something. I really think this is going to be the next big science fiction to hit the movie theaters because I'm reading this and this is epic. It is an epic journey. The characters are awesome. They're very, very complex creatures. The world building in Hyperion Cantos is amazing. That's what the series is called. It's made up of 4 books, and currently I am in the middle about to finish The Fall of Hyperion, which is book 2. And I will be reading the next book next month. So I'm so happy to everybody that recommended this to me. This is awesome. And book 2 is very different from book 1, the format of it anyway, which I've heard some people have gripes with it, but honestly, the epic journey continues. It's amazing. There's cyborgs, there's a little bit of fantasy, there's a little bit of detective work, there's it's a mixing of genres. Dan Simmons is by far one of my new favorite authors. I probably will read everything by him at some point, hands down. As part of my diverse reading TBR, I have been indulging in nonfiction New York slash true crime. So, as part of that, I read The Westies by TJ English. Now, this is really written like it's written by Drunk Uncle, but it was so fun. And can I say that this is gruesome shit. Like, it is gruesome. And this stuff was real because there's a lot of New York Irish people that are from that era, that 70s, 80s, in Hell's Kitchen, and the mob was rampant there. And I mean, I heard people that it was time to move when friend turned on friend, and a lot of people did leave the neighborhood, right? But this is probably such an awesome retelling of like firsthand account of what really went down, and it is gruesome stuff. I participated in not one but 2 book clubs this month. They both wanted to read The Ruins. I'm not going to go into it. There is another video already talking enough ish about this book. It was okay, right? The horror scenes were cool. As somebody put it, the vine was the star of the show because it really was. So read at your own risk if you really want to. Meaning, if you watch the movie, you'll probably like it's exactly like the movie, basically. Like they didn't really. Scott Smith, he's a screenwriter, so he basically wrote it exactly like a cheesy 2000s horror movie. And if that's your thing, then maybe go for it. But at 500 pages, I would say skip it. A really big surprise to me this month was Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. I picked this up at I don't even know where for myself because several people have said that it is their all-time favorite, and I don't blame them. This is just a good old fashioned good versus evil fantasy, but it has so much heart and so much humor. I definitely will be looking more so into Terry Pratchett after this. And that's basically my month, guys. I had a really good reading month. I will have an even better reading month in April, especially because Stephen Graham Jones will be at an event here in the city doing book signing for My Heart is a Chainsaw, and I'm so stoked. This is a trilogy that he actually just completed. The third book in the series just came out. And this is a series that I have the first book on my shelves and I never got to it. And people are like, oh, you got to read it. This horror trilogy is great. It's great. It's great. I'm gonna get to it, and I'm so stoked that this is the way that I'm jumping right into it because what better way than to read the book and attend an in person book club discussion about the book with the author. Now, if you don't follow me on social media, I am on Instagram at Brooklyn Attic Books. And I do post a lot of updates, a lot of cool stuff. So I post about events, I post about free ebooks, I post about when publishers need ARC reviewers. I post it all, guys. So if you want to see some cool stuff happening around New York City and join in on the fun, you can totally do that. Follow me on Instagram, and I always post everything that I attend. But I also post online events. There are a lot of cool stuff happening. I didn't even know that Tannen Reeve Dew has a podcast with her husband, and I just listened to the episode with Jonathan Jans, another author that I still have to get into, who just came out with a sequel to to one of his books that everyone's raving about. I have to pick up copies, of course. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of exciting things happening. There's a lot of exciting events going on, and I try to keep on top of it. So I'll catch you guys next time.